Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the NC30 barn find, build, restoration, rebuild, etc, etc. So today is working on engine. So we got the engine out yesterday, well, stripped the bike completely pretty much, and today I'm going to be working on this engine. So this is the first for me. I've never done this before. We want to check out the condition. So I want to show you guys a couple of things. This is the one of the rear cylinders. Actually, now seeing it off the bike, I can actually see a lot better. Because if you imagine, this is if you're sitting on the bike, this is the left hand side of the bike, that's the right hand side of the bike, and the stand is on the left side, so the bike is always sort of leaning, tilting this direction. And I think because of that, water was more likely to get into these two cylinders, being that they're at a lower level. So you guys might be able to see, if you look inside here, you might be able to see that sort of brown stuff, which is basically corrosion, rust. Same thing in this one here as well. Sorry, if I can just flip it around, you might be able to see down in this one. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. These ones look very clean to me. Down inside the valves, you can see the valves there, sort of shiny. And these valves here, you can see sort of rusty. So water's definitely got into today's and was sitting in here, caused these to rust. So we know we got that issue to deal with. Obviously I'm going to be taking these off and having a look at the cams, and I'm just going to try and take as many parts that I can off. We need to drain the oil, we take the oil filter off, take the start motor off, and just get in as many parts as we can, because obviously we want to rebuild this engine, and I will be repainting the block as well. So first things first is to give it a little bit of a clean, because there's some real caked off dust and stuff, mud and all that. We want to get some of that stuff off so we don't get too much contaminants getting around the engine. So I'm going to do that first. Okay guys, so just a quick update. Let's see where we've been at. Gosh, look at the state of this stuff. Is where the coolant was. It's just all gelled up in there. The state of that. Actually, I ended up breaking the screw here because of corrosion, so I'm gonna have to get this screw out. Luckily, it broke off quite high up, so I should be able to get that out with some mold grips or something. So, oh, just a tip: if anybody's taking this head off, this bolt here needs to come off because it's connected to this part here. So I was struggling to get the head off, but that was holding it in. So you saw me take all those screws off, and looking at the internals, they look quite good, which is what I expected. This is quite a low mileage engine, but where we have our issues are down here, where you can see where we had the corrosion. So looking at these valves here, this valve here is where we see the corrosion. On the other side, this one, we can see how there's not really corrosion here. I'm going to clean these up with a grinder wheel, wire wheel, and we'll see what it look like. But you can see the corrosion already around here, which I'm sure will cause issues with the compression. They're not closing properly. You can see again the coolant that's gelled up inside inside of the waterways as well. So we've got to get these cleaned up properly. But yeah, these are the two here that are the most problematic, I think. Obviously, I will be taking all of these valves out and inspecting them and seeing whether or not we need to replace any, or we need to just grind them down or whatever. So these larger ones are the inlet valves, these two, and these are the exhaust valves which go out to this manifold here, the exhaust valve. So I'll be taking these off so I can get these heads cleaned up properly. So this one's off now, so I'm going to take the second one off. While we're here, we can look at the bottom head now. So this is the gasket. So let's pull this gasket off, and you can see the gel inside there. Oh, this is the old coolant that we're gonna have to sort out. But these are the heads, and they so far seem to look okay. Obviously I'm gonna turn these, and we can see what they look like. You can see right down inside there, the bottom end, which again I can see from my eyes, not as great on the camera, but everything looks quite clean. Don't really see much wear on those gears, so hopefully that should be good as well. So yeah, I can take the other side off, and then it starts to continue to strip this bike down.
Okay guys, so both heads are off now, as you guys can see. State of this stuff. This gel that's down there. But what I've done now is I was able to turn the engine by hand, and so I could have a look at the inside here, and they look so clean. There's no rust in there, so basically water never got down in there. Thankfully the water got stopped by the valves and just rusted on the top of the valves, so thankfully didn't get into the cylinders. So you can see everything in here. You can see inside the cylinders are mega clean. Oops, sorry. Same thing inside here, and same thing on this side as well. Just come down this side here. Again, this is just sort of burning marks. This is where all, you know, the explosions happen, and the pistons stop slightly short of that anyway. Let's see how far they go. So yeah, pistons literally stop there. So yeah, as you can see, all the cylinders are nice and clean, and everything is moving good. Just inside here. So yeah, it's all looking good. Right, so yeah, I think we're going to continue to take this apart.
Guys, so it's an update. So this is where we are. This is what we got left of the engine. I'll actually be giving it sort of a clean as well, trying my best to clean a lot of areas. This sprocket's giving me problems to come off, so might need to get some sort of puller to get that off. Yeah, pretty much cleaned up everything. I'm not gonna do anything with the bottom end of this. I considered it, but I just decided against it. So this is as far as I'm gonna go, as far as obviously it's gonna get cleaned up. And then eventually I'm gonna paint the block. I'll have to mask it all up and paint the block, but I've still been sort of cleaning it as much as I can, trying to get all the sort of corrosion off with a steel brush and cleaners and so on and so on. Obviously all these areas are gonna have to get cleaned out. But yeah, this is where I am. So this is what we've got of the bike. A lot of bits, a lot of bits. So as you guys can see, lots to work on. All this stuff is gonna have to be cleaned up and some of it, you know, rebuilt and so on. Obviously the major job we've got to do is going to be the valves, but yeah, then all this stuff will get cleaned up and hopefully we can make something of this engine. Also, I just want to show you guys the other side of this engine. This is the bottom. So obviously I took the sump off, took the strainer off, and this is the bottom of the engine, as you guys can see. So yeah, I'm not going to split the engine, not going to do all that stuff, because I'm sure these internals, the bottom end, are fine. So yeah, this is as far as we're going to go. So guys, that is where I'm ending today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and the progress so far. Let me know what you think. Help me along the way if you can as well. And please like and subscribe so you guys can follow the progress. Remember to hit the bell as well so you can get updated as soon as I post videos. So until the next one, guys, I'll see you soon and take care.